Hello, welcome to Card Talk. I'm Brom989.
I'm Shotgun.
Today we will be looking at an action card called Berry Riches. It is an uncommon, and it reads, play. If the tide is high, move 1 amber from each creature to its controller's pool. Otherwise, raise the tide. So again, we see another interesting situational card here. Free raising the tide, always going to be valuable. There might be some situations where you want to raise the tide first, gain those 3 chains, and then load up on all that amber that's on your board. Just like in the previous sets, Saurians here like to exalt themselves and capture amber and just have all kinds of ways to put amber onto their own creatures. So this could make a really big burst of amber for you and deprive your opponent of getting all that amber that's sitting out on the board.
Yeah, this card looks great. It combos with a bunch of cards in this set, and pretty much any Saurian set will have amber on its own creatures at some point. It's very hard to avoid that. And if you can get Berry Riches with City-State Interest or something, like you take the tide and move all the amber into your pool, basically. So it could be like Steel 4, Steel 6. That's just amazing.
Ridiculous. Yeah, basically set up a massive stealing play in Saurian.
Right. And you have to make sure you get your sequencing right. Like, let's say Hedonistic Intent, which is a returning card for Mass Mutation. Play, exalt each flank creature. So you get 1 for playing it. You exalt 2 of your creatures, 2 of theirs. You didn't make sure you then destroy their creatures, so you get the 2 amber. And then you Berry Riches, you get 2 more. You just got 5. And you destroyed 2 of their creatures.
That's definitely a good point. So in mirror matchups, you're going to want to be careful here. This card is global. So if your opponent is also playing Saurian, there's a good chance that they will be able to get amber from their board as well.
And you have tools to deal with that. You have Humble. You have Dino. You didn't destroy an enemy creature with amber on it. Of course, you have the high-powered creatures in Saurian in general that can just straight fight them off. And not much scaling steel response in the set to this kind of burst. So I can see some big burst potential with Berry Riches.
Yeah, and another thought that I had about this is, as we were mentioning last week, looking at Shadows has shifted a lot from straight up stealing to a lot of your opponent captures amber onto their own critters. And this is a very strong counter to that style of Shadows, right? Your opponent just spent a big Shadows turn putting all of your amber onto your own creatures. Okay, well, now I'm just going to take it back and more back into my pool. Straight up hard counter to a lot of Shadows cards in this set.
That is correct.
Also makes me think I don't want this card in my deck if I also have Shadows, because it's going to not synergize well with my own Shadows cards.
Yeah, you could always discard it, or you can use it to raise the tide. It does have that alternate effect.
Which is just excellent. I think that might be easily overlooked, that it has that alternate ability that if the tide is low, you can just use it to raise the tide, which is also a great effect. Here's this card that lets you avoid taking 3 chains. Excellent. This has been our look at Berry Riches. Check back tomorrow for a look at another card.